Every weekend, people walk into dealerships and spend $30,000 or $35,000 on a crossover or an SUV they don't actually need. And, I'm going to show you 4 sedans, all under $20,000 used, that are faster, cheaper to own, and built to outlast those SUVs by 100,000 miles. I've spent 20 years turning wrenches, and I can tell you what the data and the dealer invoice both show. The SUV craze has been one of the most expensive financial mistakes everyday car buyers are making right now. And stay with me for number 1. That car got me into an actual back and forth with a dealership manager who told me it couldn't compete with a BMW. I'll tell you exactly what happened. Today, I'm counting down 4 used sedans that outclass most SUVs on performance, on total cost of ownership, and on sheer reliability. We're talking real-world shop data, actual repair numbers, and the specific model years worth hunting for right now. I'm saving the most surprising one for last. That third car on today's list, I need you to pay attention to something specific. The engine code on the window sticker. It determines whether you're buying a bulletproof car or a headache. I'll explain exactly what to look for. Keep watching. Number 4. Mazda 6 2018 to 2021. I had a 2019 Mazda 6 Signature Turbo roll into the shop about a year ago. The customer thought something was wrong because the car felt too nice for what she paid for it. 64,000 miles. Original. Everything. She bought it for $16,200. The only thing that car needed was a fresh set of tires. That was it. Here's why this car lasts. The 2.5-liter Skyactiv engine is a naturally aspirated design that Mazda has been refining since 2012. Timing chain, not a belt, so you never pay the $800+ belt replacement. No turbo to fail. Port injection, so the intake valves stay clean. This engine wants to run to 250,000 or even 300,000 miles, and honestly, it has the track record to prove it. Now the 2018 to 2021 Mazda 6 also comes with a 2.5 turbo, 250 horsepower on premium, 227 on regular. But here's where it gets interesting. 310 pound-feet of torque from just 2,000 revolutions per minute. That's diesel level. Shove off the line. The SUV next to you at the light doesn't know what hit it. RepairPal puts the Mazda 6 annual maintenance cost at $462. The average midsize SUV runs $550 to $700 per year. Insurance on a used Mazda 6 averages around $95 to $180 per year, depending on your state and record. Measurably less than a comparable SUV. Common issues: wheel bearings at $300 to $500, a corner brake rotors at $300 per axle, and some infotainment screen glitches on older units that a $40 SD card replacement usually fixes. Before you hand over any money on a Mazda 6, do this. Pull up the NHTSA database and confirm the recall on the fuel pump is marked completed. Then pop the hood and look at the oil cap. If the underside has milky gray residue, walk away. That's a coolant leak. Clean cap? You're probably good. Also, pull out the infotainment SD card and make sure it's the factory card, not a third-party replacement that will cause freezing issues. Buy it if you want near-luxury materials at a fraction of the price. You're keeping it past 150,000 miles. You want a car that handles with confidence and doesn't cost a fortune to maintain. Skip it if you regularly haul large cargo or need genuine all-wheel drive for serious winter. Mazda 6 is front-wheel drive only, and trunk space at 14.7 cubic feet is the smallest of this group. The Mazda 6 is a genuine luxury car that nobody wants because the badge doesn't say BMW. That's your game. Buy the signature trim, change the oil every 5,000 miles on the turbo model, and drive it until your kids argue about who gets it. Now, the Mazda 6 is impressive, but the next car on this list has something the Mazda never had. A proven track record with over 500,000 miles on a single powertrain. This is where we start talking about real money. Number 3. Toyota Camry V6 from 2019 to 2020. You know, there was a 2018 Toyota Camry hybrid that was used as a taxi over in Dubai, running around the clock in shifts, and it actually reached 530,000 miles on the original engine and transmission. Not rebuilt, just original. The only things they had to swap out along the way were tires, brake pads, and rear suspension bushings. And hey, that's not just some YouTube story, it's a documented fleet record. I've worked on well over 100 Camrys in my career, and you know what I almost never have to replace on these cars? The engine. Now, you know what I do replace sometimes? I've got more breakdowns coming up that, honestly, the dealer service department definitely doesn't want you to see. But here's the thing, buy it if you want the longest documented track record of any sedan out there. If you're commuting 20,000 plus miles a year and need something that won't strand you, or you want that V6 performance for sedan money, this is the one. But skip it if you need all-wheel drive for real winter driving. The Camry AWD only came with the 4-cylinder model, and if you're after excitement from behind the wheel on a back road, well, this car just isn't going to deliver that. The Camry will outlive your mortgage, your student loans, and probably your patience with traffic. So, buy a V6 if it's in your budget, keep up with the oil changes, and stop worrying about repairs for the next 150,000 miles. That's not just optimism, that's what the fleet data shows. The Camry's the reliability standard, sure, but the next car on this list does everything the Camry does, and adds a performance engine that actually comes from a race-prepped platform. So, pay attention to one specific engine code when you're shopping. Number 2. Honda Accord 2.0T 2018 to 2020. I mentioned earlier there's something specific to look for on the window sticker when you're checking out an Accord. Well, here it is. You want the K20C4 engine. That's the 2-liter, turbocharged 4-cylinder, 252 horsepower, 273 pound-feet of torque. Because Honda built this engine off the same platform as the Civic Type R power plant, it'll go 0 to 60 in 5.4 seconds in an Accord you can pick up for $16,000 to $20,000 used. So, I had this customer, right? He argued with me. He'd just spent $38,000 on a loaded Honda Pilot, and he was convinced his SUV was faster than the 2019 Accord 2.0T Sport I'd recommended. We actually looked it up together. The Accord 2.0T does 0 to 60 in 5.4 seconds. The Honda Pilot, 7.1 seconds. He just went quiet after that. Then he asked if he'd made a mistake. Honestly, for daily driving, yeah, probably. But here's what really makes that 2.0T engine special, way beyond the numbers. It hits its peak torque at just 1,500 revolutions per minute. Most turbocharged engines don't reach max torque until 2,500 or even 3,000 RPM. So, what that means for you is the power's there, instantly, whenever you need it. Here's something a lot of folks don't realize. Unburned fuel can seep past the piston rings into the oil, especially if you live somewhere cold and mostly take short trips. There's actually a class action lawsuit over it. Honda did issue some software updates that helped, but they didn't totally fix the problem. Still, Honda as a brand ranks number 1 in reliability out of 32 car brands on RepairPal, with an average annual repair cost of $428. The Accord itself costs about $5,870 in total maintenance over 10 years, so that's about $100 a month. And the 2.0T's trunk, it holds 16.7 cubic feet, biggest in the midsize sedan class. I've loaded coolers and camping gear in there, no problem. Most compact SUV owners are hauling the same amount of stuff anyway. Buy it if you want performance and reliability. Skip it if you're looking at the 1.5T and you mostly do short city trips in cold weather. That's where the oil dilution issue pops up the most. Also, if you need all-wheel drive, this isn't your car, but the Accord 2.0T, that's the car I'd put my own money into. It's a performance-oriented sedan Honda built without charging luxury prices. Buy the 2.0T and just enjoy the fact that it's faster than the SUV sitting next to you at the light. Now, number 1 is my emotional pick, the kind of car that actually makes mechanics smile. Number 1 is the Kia Stinger GT, 2019 to 2021. This thing was designed by Albert Biermann, the guy who used to run BMW's M division. It's got a 3.3-liter twin-turbo V6, makes 365 horsepower, and does 0 to 60 in just 4.7 seconds. That's actually faster than a BMW 5 Series and any midsize SUV under $60,000. I had a customer once who wanted to sell his Stinger for a used BMW. I showed him the Stinger was faster, had more cargo space, cost $8,000 less, and had the exact same warranty. He kept the Stinger. And it's a liftback, so with the seats folded down you get 40.9 cubic feet of cargo space. That's more than a Toyota RAV4, believe it or not. You can actually find a 2019 Stinger GT V6 for around $16,000 to $20,000. Annual maintenance is just $267. If you're looking, target a 2019 or 2021 model, and avoid the 2018 first-year version. And on any used Stinger, make sure 2 recalls are cleared, the turbocharger oil feed pipe and the high-pressure fuel pump. Buy it if you want a real performance car experience at Sedan money. But, skip it if you can't budget for 93-octane premium fuel. The Stinger beats BMW on both performance and value. So, buy the 2019 or 21, clear those recalls, and you'll make every SUV at the stoplight totally irrelevant. So those are the 4 sedans: the Mazda 6, the Camry V6, the Accord 2.0T, and the Stinger GT, all under 20,000 used, all faster, cheaper to own, and more durable than the crossovers everyone seems to overpay for. Picking any one of them saves you about $1,200 to $2,000 every year. Over 5 years, that's up to $10,000 back in your pocket. If this helped you avoid a bad decision, go ahead and like and subscribe.